Did Tristan Thompson just disrespect his hometown? Are unwritten rules allowed to be broken or not? I'm Trevor Lane. This is the Basketball Bulletin. Make sure you subscribe, everybody. Hit that subscribe button. Joined by Donnie Freeman. Donnie, it's always crazy to me when stuff like this comes up where somebody breaks an unwritten rule and there turns into a little skirmish. I don't know. It's the funny unwritten things in sports that always get to me.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like there's nothing that says you can't do that, but if you do it, a lot of times people are going to get pissed off because, like you said, it's one of those unwritten rules, and then you get the whole side of it where it's like, well, stop the man from doing it, So I'm just curious where everyone falls on that. Let us know in the comments, but definitely pretty interesting.
All right, let's take a look at exactly the heinous actions, according to Raptors fans, that Tristan Thompson took here. Here's what happened. The Cavs are up big on the Raptors, and watch Tristan Thompson as the clock is winding down.
It's surprising.
Guess the clock wound down all the way there.
The clock wound down a little fast. Here we go.
Atkinson and the Cleveland Cavaliers is Thompson right at the boos ringing out for Tristan Thompson getting the two.
Okay, so you could see the Cavs are up big. 131-108 is the final score. Tristan Thompson, typically in that situation, you just dribble the ball out. You just dribble the clock out, and that's it. Tristan Thompson instead took the opportunity to go get himself 2 points. Now, Tristan Thompson doesn't play a ton right now for the Cavs. Maybe he just wanted an opportunity to score a few extra points, but this is his hometown, and the boos are raining down on him. Here's how the Raptors players responded.
It's about this building like a lot. The teams actually head down the same tunnel. They do not go to separate. Scotty Barnes saying something to Tristan Thompson, and Darko now standing that way. And this is one of the things about this building like a lot. The teams actually head down the same tunnel. They do not go.
Okay, so the teams actually have to converge down one tunnel.
Wow.
And obviously the Raptors players took exception to what Tristan Thompson did, and they got into a little scuff. Now, Donnie, we know, there aren't real fights in the NBA. The NBA has gone to great lengths to make sure that doesn't happen anymore after all the Malice at the Palace stuff. This is not like the 80s where you could punch a guy and stay in the game and all kinds of craziness. This was about as NBA of an NBA fight as it gets, or scuffle or whatever. Everybody just kind of pushing and shoving, and that was about it. But still, the Raptors players were clearly upset. Did they have a right to be?
I think so. I mean, and to your first part, much to the disappointment of one Celtics coach, there are no fights. You're right. Remember that thing where he said they should allow guys to fight. But it felt like he was kind of rubbing it in a little bit. They're already up 20 plus at that point. He didn't necessarily need to score that basket there. He had another one prior to that. He took a couple shots in the 3 minutes of garbage time. So yeah, he probably took that opportunity to get himself a couple of points there. Maybe make his stats look a little bit better for the game. But I do wonder if maybe prior to that there was a little bit of chippiness and he just wanted to rub it in for whatever reason. It is a little bit weird that it's his hometown team, but that's another piece of it too. But yeah, I can understand why they would be upset. They're already, like I said, down 20. It felt like a kick in the
So after the game, Raptors coach Darko Rajakovic had something to say about it too, and he kind of upped the ante here.
I think what Tristan did there was no class and disrespectful. I'm not going to stand for that for sure. And I'm really glad that our guys, our players from Jamal, that he was in the court, and Scotty and everybody else, that they stood up for themselves. I love when my team stands up for themselves. That was no class act.
Okay,
I kind of like Darko a lot. He always has like a soundbite like that. I kind of like him. He's always saying some stuff like that.
He pulls no punches. He's just like, it was a no class act. Now, Donnie, we're not done. Tristan Thompson responded to Darko and being called classless, essentially. We're going to get to that in just a moment because this thing is wild. We're going to get to that. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. You guys can check out Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports, lots of fun. Obviously, there's some games going on still tonight. Not everybody is off for the All-Star break just yet. If you guys want to use our promo code over with Prize Picks, it is Bulletin. You get a guaranteed $50 with your first $5 played. So hopefully you guys go check that out. We always appreciate it when you support the companies that help support us and keep this channel growing and going. Let's make a few picks here. 7.5 points. I would like to think even Rudy Gobert can clear that. Not known for his offensive mastery, but 7.5 points. I like that one a lot. I also kind of like this, Donnie. DeMar DeRozan, 7 boards and assists. I just feel like the ball's going to be in his hands enough to get that.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one. But I would also like to say, I don't know what's going on with the flowers for Shea.
So the flowers you've got, this is a discounted play. And I'll admit, I don't know exactly the reasoning behind the flowers either, but it's a promo. One of the things I love is that Prize Picks does so many of these. So 25.5 points down from 31.5. For Shea, you also have Anthony Edwards, 21.5 points down from 28. I would imagine this is all-star related, but do you like one of those?
Yeah.
I mean, either of them, right?
I like that. I like the Ant one.
Let's take Ant. All right, let's do that. All right, so if we were to play this, we would wind up $37.50 on a $10 entry fee. You guys can check out Prize Picks. Use the link in the description down below and go give them a look. And then don't forget to use that code, Bulletin. All right, let's take a look here. Tristan Thompson fires back at Darko. This may change the whole context of this disagreement. Tristan Thompson says, you want a full court press with under a minute left in the game. When you get cracked by 30, this will happen to you. Lose for the draft lottery and be happy, buddy boy. Hopefully you and most of your guys see the light at the end of Bobby and Masai's long-term plan. Bless up, stay warm in my city. I mean, I don't think Tristan Thompson should have done what he did.
No.
But I love this response so much.
I think it was a little classless doing it, especially to your hometown team. It's a little disrespectful, but This response is hilarious. I like the part where he's like, hopefully you and your guys are there when they're done with this long-term plan. That's kind of crazy.
Right? Because, I mean, he's not wrong. Like, that does tend to happen. Once teams, they get into a rebuild. Once they get out of a rebuild, they move on to a different coach. We've seen that. We saw it happen with the Nets. We've seen that happen with a number of teams, right? Where they rebuild, then they change their coach once they're ready to start winning. So Tristan Thompson throwing that out there like, hey, we'll see if you're still the coach at the end of this with the Raptors. Lose for the draft lottery and be happy. Well, the Raptors have indeed been doing that. They're executing a tank pretty darn well. But does it change if, and by the way, I did not watch this game. I've watched a few Raptors games. I don't tend to try to watch too many Raptors games for my own sanity, but you want a full court press with under a minute left. So if the Raptors are full court pressing, does that then justify Tristan Thompson dunking on them? I mean,
no, I don't think so personally. I don't think it's a huge, like I said, it's a little disrespectful, but it's not the end of the world. Like, it doesn't really matter all that much to me. And
what,
if anything,
the dunk
I like
or the full court press?
The dunk. If anything, I like it. I like when things get a little bit chippy, even though we know it's not really going to escalate. I like when things get a little chippy. And maybe there's some bad blood going into whenever their next meeting is. Maybe the Toronto Raptors come out with the chip on their shoulders. I don't know. But the full court press piece of it, yeah, I mean, maybe they were just trying to practice something. But like I said earlier, maybe there was already some chippiness prior to that. We didn't watch this game, so I don't know. But yeah.
There's a little bit of kind of Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, don't double me type of complaining, though, to the Raptors full court pressing. Like, yeah, they're full court pressing, but you're winning. You're up a ton, right? Like, who cares that they're full court press? I think it's far more disrespectful to dunk on a team when you're up big like that than for the team that's down to full court press with a minute left.
Yeah, I don't really care about the full court press personally. Like I said, it doesn't really matter much to me. You just get past the full court, dribble it out. But I don't know. He wanted to really prove a point. So
here's ultimately where I land, because look, whether or not it should be a thing, it is a thing. It is a thing that you're not supposed to do what Tristan Thompson did. It's an unwritten rule. You do not score on a team. You don't run up the score. This is not, it would be different if this were an NBA Cup game where your point differential matters, and that's going to decide whether or not you move it. Hey, yeah, then you just do it, right?
It looks so weird to me when they're out there with all their guys and they're up by 20 plus and they're just trying to run up the score. It just looks so weird to me in those games.
But in that it makes sense though, right?
Yeah,
strategically, there's a reason to do it. Whereas in a game like this, it's just, did you win or lose? It doesn't matter so much how many points you win or lose by. So it is a thing, right? This is an issue. So I look at it this way. Tristan Thompson is a veteran. He's been in this league a long time. He's been there, done that. Somebody's got to be the adult in the room, right? And if you're mad that the Raptors are pressing you when you're up big, be the bigger man here, right? If you think that's disrespectful, and I don't think that's all that disrespectful, but in my opinion, if you're Tristan Thompson, you know better than to do this. You knew exactly what was going to happen, especially when it's your hometown team. I don't think he should have done this. Now, do I think it's the end of the world? No, and I agree with you, Donnie. I think it adds a little bit more spice to the next time the two sides play, and so I'm okay with that. But Tristan Thompson knew exactly what was going to happen. He knew exactly what he was doing. And in general, I go back on this. 2 wrongs don't make a right. If you're mad that they did something to you, doesn't mean you have to go back and do something, especially something that you know is against the rules of the game, the spirit of the game, the unwritten rules that we see in this one. I don't think Tristan Thompson should have done what he did, but at the same time, I kind of love the drama. That's where I land on this, Donnie.
I mean, given everything you just said, he knew what would be the response, and he didn't care. So it tells me that it was intentional. He wanted that. So it is what it is.
Yeah. We'll see what happens the next time these two sides meet, if this ends up being an issue or anything like that. But the hometown piece of it just adds a little bit extra to it. Like this is your hometown team, man.
I wouldn't want to get booed in my city, as he calls it.
Right?
I wouldn't want to get booed in my city like that.
Exactly. But everybody let us know. What do you think? Whose side do you fall on? Is Darko Rajakovic right? Was Tristan Thompson classless? Or did the Raptors pressing make it justified that Thompson is dunking on them despite the game being over? Give me your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe right here to the channel. Until next time, everybody. See ya and stay safe.